ドジャースの球団新記録となる10試合連続打点をマークしている大谷翔平。直近10試合では36打数16安打の打率4割4分4厘、8本塁打、17打点。OPS は驚異の 1.757 を記録しており、6月男の本領を発揮しています。ホームラン数でも25本と2位のオズーナ選手の21本を引き離し絶好調モードに入っています。そんな中、MLB ネットワークの番組では、大谷のこの好調の要因について、過去の偉大な左打者と比較しながら、マーク・デローサ氏が詳しく分析していましたので、その模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介していきます。
Dodgers beat the White Sox 4-0.
Yeah, 10-game streak with an RBI, a franchise record for Shohei. We are running out of ways to describe his greatness. Dan and D-Row. He was interviewed after the game. He said, I'm just trying to have a quality at bat. My approach is to swing at strikes, and I need to make sure my posture is lined up. He's big on posture. Whatever's happening, it's working. It's beautiful to watch.
He's the most talented baseball player we've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. And it's just what he does, you just can't even describe anymore.
I always go back to sweatpants, 4 in the morning. Paul Severino, the voice of the Marlins, and myself are calling. A U.S. team went over and played some Japanese games, and I will never forget it. He was like 16, 17 years old.
And even then, I
thought he was the best player on the field.
Yeah.
Amongst big leaguers. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And then to come over and what he's been able to accomplish, regardless. And I sat there this year, and I'm telling myself, there's no way a DH can win the NL MVP or any MVP. There's no way if you don't go on the field and battle.
What was it like sitting in the dugout during Team USA, watching him play against you? What is that feeling like when he steps to the plate?
You could see it kind of barreling down that stretch where him and Trout were going to end up facing off, and I actually just felt bad for Mike because at that point
he wasn't ready to.
You're not ready to hit 92, 94, let alone 101 and a sweeper crossing the plate. So. It was his moment to have, but I want to go through real quick. Let's get into this and let's just love on the 10 RBIs. First off, let this sink in. 2024 stats with NL ranks among qualifiers. He's first in everything. He's hitting 322 with 25 homers. He's got 200 total bases. His OPS plus is that of 2 players. And by the way, he steals bags at an elite rate.
And his WAR number is only suppressed because he doesn't play a position.
And Mookie Betts goes down and Dave Roberts goes, hey, you want to lead off? I mean, just trying to make him as uncomfortable as you possibly can, and nothing seems to matter. He's just unbelievable. And just watching him throughout this 10-game stretch with the RBIs, he has got just the plate coverage is unmatched. You look at his heat map. This is from the catcher's perspective. So picture Ohtani's hitting right here. There's really only one hole on the strike zone that you could potentially go, and that's up and in. Maybe.
You better get it
You
up.
better get it there,
Yeah.
or you better be off the plate with everything else. And if you happen to miss up, out, over, which we'll get into, he can take it oppo or hook it. So let's start, because I wanted to go through, do a love session on him the other day in Dodger Stadium. The way he impacts this baseball off Brady Singer. Bottom of the third, he goes backdoor breaking ball, then he goes cutter in, he goes breaking ball down, and he tries to sneak a two-seamer out over. And he hits it like a right-handed pull hitter.
Look at
Oppo. And I just think of playing shortstop or second base against Jim Thome, and some of the balls he hit over my head, opposite field, were the stuff of legend. I can picture being in the vet. And then one at-bat leads to the next. He showed him that backdoor breaking ball, and if you miss a spot in your next AB, he's able to turn on that. And when I see him take breaking balls pole side, I think of Carlos Delgado back in the Rogers Center, just sitting there and leaning on off-speed stuff consistently. Big-time power. He's encompassing some of the great power hitters that I had a chance to play against. Then here, just Cal Quantrill. I'm going to need you to back up home plate. I don't need a second cutoff man in the middle of the diamond right there. And then roasting balls the other way with the bases loaded. He's in complete command of all the at-bats, and he's got everything covered, Dan. Show me some homers to dead center off lefties. Austin Gomber, Breaking ball, middle of the plate.
It
2-0
really is.
count.
It's just jaw-dropping. It's just incredible. It's almost to the point now, does he get the Bonds treatment?
Ty Black, 89. Middle cut.
He's just always under control at the plate. He never overswings.
He simplified his swing. Here he is against Matt Moore, bottom of the fifth, dead center.
These are just bombs.
Bombs to places that in Dodger Stadium that left-handers don't go except Adam Dunn,
Yeah.
right?
You're talking about three of the most prolific home run hitters in the history of the game all rolled into one player.
This dude could absolutely hit tanks
He
to
could.
dead center.
He was unbelievable.
And then I want to see a little Bonds left on left. Is that Dan Plesac? Let's take him for a ride into the pool. Over the pool. And you heard the other day, lefties
There's
like
Al.
we had David
There's Al
Dahl.
Leiter.
We had David Dahl. He talked about liking to face lefties in BP because they keep your front shoulder in. Run this.
Yeah, look at that. It's perfect.
Just perfect balance.
Head position. I mean, it's just crazy.
Doesn't matter what uniform they throw on him. Zach Plesac, 2-0 changeup.
It just never gets fooled. When you say balance, it was so you're 100% accurate. He's always on time.
Let's mix in a little. He saved the RBI stretch right here with a little sac fly. And then Chris Flexen.
That actually wasn't a bad pitch when you look.
I want to take you through the Eric Fetty full AB, and it kind of brings up the heat map. So pause this real quick. Bring back the heat map, because I want you to watch execution, what Fetty's trying to do. Fetty is going to try and throw cutters right to this spot. That's where he's going. He's trying to go up and in.
That's so hard to
And
do.
you better execute it. Go. So he's trying to go up and in. Makes a nice pitch
Yeah,
right
that's a
there,
good
but that's a
pitch.
ball.
Okay. That's
He
dangerous.
doesn't get it in all the way. Now he goes sinker away. It's 2-1. I want back in that spot, 2-2. You better get it in there if you're going in. And he leaves it out over, and he crushes
Hey, as soon
it.
as he look at his body language, as soon as he threw the pitch.
He executes that pitch, he might get a roll over the first base. Without it, I watched Mark Teixeira hook more baseballs that were leaking out over the plate, pull side for homers in Texas when he went 44 and 134 in 2005 sitting there. Highest OPS plus by a DH in a single season. 1995, Edgar Martinez, Pronk, Big Poppy, Jordan. I mean,
He's on pace for 9 more as a DH.
Unbelievable.
You know, it's crazy too, D-Rose. See how relaxed he is with 2 strikes?
Yeah.
Like most hitters, when they get to 2 strikes, it's like, oh man, this can be a battle here. He looks like he's just hitting in a 2-0 count.
And he's a top 10 pitcher in the game when he's
All while rehabbing his arm.
Yeah.
God, it honestly doesn't make sense that he could be that dominant.
Yeah, we are truly, everybody has to appreciate, we're truly watching something so special
Yep.
that we may never see again in the game.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And yeah, you're right. You mentioned it, D-Ro. He could play in the outfield. If he could play center field.
Guarantee you he could pretty much do whatever he wants,
It is
Robert.
unbelievable.
また、米大リーグ機構は日本時間28日、7月16日に行われるオールスターゲームの野手のスタメン出場選手を決めるファン投票の一致投票の結果を発表。大谷はナ・リーグの指名打者、DH 部門で1位となり、最終投票へのフェーズ2への進出が決まっています。一次投票で各ポジションの上位2人となった選手が最終投票に進出し、大谷は DH で2位のフィリーズのカイル・シュワーバーとの一騎打ちとなっています。一次投票の結果は持ち込まれず、日本時間4日に最終結果が発表されます。これからも大谷の活躍から目が離せません。皆様からのコメントもお待ちしております。